Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I am going to break down all the games that are going to take place tomorrow, Saturday. That is Premier League Saturday's fixtures, La Liga Saturday's fixtures, Bundesliga Saturday's fixtures, Serie A Saturday's fixtures, and Ligue 1 Saturday's fixtures. In this same game I am also going to give my own predictions for all the games that are going to be played tomorrow, not forgetting the Saudi Super Cup that is going to be played between Al Nassr of Cristiano Ronaldo and Al Ahly of Frank Kessie. Now, let us start with the English Premier League. Tomorrow is going to be the second week of English Premier League. It actually started yesterday. Actually started today. Chelsea played against West Ham, right? And the games are actually going to continue tomorrow. And the first game of the day that is going to be played tomorrow, Saturday, is going to be the game of Manchester City against Tottenham. Remember, on March week 1, Manchester City played their game away from home against Wolverhampton and won the game 4-0. Tottenham on the other side also played against Burnley, a newly promoted club, and won the game 3-0, right? So it is going to be Manchester City versus Tottenham tomorrow. Manchester City is going to be playing this game at home, and the second game of the day is going to be that of Bournemouth against Wolverhampton. Remember, Bournemouth suffered their first defeat of the season against Liverpool, and Wolverhampton also suffered their first defeat of the season against Manchester City. So these two clubs are going to fight to see if one of them can get their first win of the season. The third game of the day is going to be that of Brentford against Aston Villa. Remember, Aston Villa played the first game of the season, which was actually the first game last week Saturday, and that game was against Aston Villa, where the central defender Konsa was sent off with a straight red card, and that game ended 0-0. So points were being shared in that game. And Brentford on the other side suffered a defeat against Nottingham Forest 3-1. So I think Brentford tomorrow is going to see if they can bounce back for the season, and at the same time the boys of Unai Emery are also coming into this game to grab a win, right? Now when you take a look at the fourth game that is going to be played tomorrow, Saturday, it is going to be the game between two newly promoted clubs, Burnley against Sunderland. So Burnley suffered their first game, and they suffered a defeat against Tottenham. Sunderland had their first game, and it ended as a victory. Their first victory against West Ham 3-0. So I don't know if they are going to continue their good success tomorrow or not, but I think when you take a look at the game, Sunderland is still having a higher chance of winning this game. And the final game of the day is that of Arsenal versus Leeds United. Remember, Leeds United played their first league game of the season against Everton and won the game 1-0, and Arsenal played their first league game of the season against Manchester City and won also the game 1-0. So this game between Arsenal and Leeds United is a game where one of them must win. Like, Arsenal is being considered as one of the favorites to win the Premier League title this season, and they must win this game. Now, what are my predictions for all these 5 games that are going to be played tomorrow? I'll go back to the game of Manchester City against Tottenham. When you take a look at the two clubs, you discover that all of them are in form. Yes, all of these two clubs are in form. All of them are having good squad. All of them are having good players. Thomas Frank against Pep Guardiola. But if I'm not being biased and I'm to predict this game, I'll give Manchester City a win over Tottenham. And the second game is going to be that of Bournemouth against Wolverhampton. If I am to predict this game, I'm going to give a win to Bournemouth because they are playing this game at home with a double advantage. That's the home advantage. We all saw them against Liverpool, how good they were. So I'll give Bournemouth a win over Wolverhampton. Now the game between Brentford and Aston Villa, I'll give Aston Villa a win. Yes, without any doubt. I can still remember when the season was about to start, I recorded a video, and in that video I said if Brentford is not careful, they might get relegated this season. Why? They lost their best coach Thomas Frank to Tottenham. They lost their best player Brian Bomo to Manchester United, and Johan Wissa is also threatening to leave the club. They also lost their team captain Christian Nogat to Arsenal. So 3 good players and 1 coach, making a total of 4 people that left the club. So it is going to be a tough game for Brentford against Aston Villa. And if I am to predict this game, I'll give Aston Villa a win over Brentford. Now there is a game of Burnley against Sunderland. I will give Sunderland a win over Burnley. Though Burnley is playing this game at home, but the way Sunderland is, I will give Sunderland a win over Burnley. And the game of Arsenal over Leeds United, I will give Arsenal a win over Leeds United without any doubt. Guys, if you have watched the video up to this point, what are your predictions for these Premier League games that are going to be played tomorrow? At the same time, let us take a look at how La Liga is going to look like tomorrow. Like, there are 3 La Liga games that are going to be played tomorrow, and the first La Liga game of the day is going to be that of Mallorca against Celta Vigo. There is also the game of Atletico de Madrid against Elche, and the final game of the day tomorrow is going to be that of Levante against FC Barcelona. Now, what are my predictions for these 3 La Liga games that are going to be played tomorrow? The game of Mallorca against Celta Vigo is going to be a tough game because Mallorca suffered a defeat in their first game of the season against FC Barcelona, 3-0, where 2 of their players were sent off. So this game is actually going to be in favor of Mallorca because they're playing a game at home. They have a home advantage, so everything is in their favor. I'll give Mallorca a win over Celta Vigo. Atletico de Madrid against Elche. Atletico de Madrid suffered their first defeat of the season, first game of the season, first defeat for Atletico de Madrid against Espanyol. And this game against Elche is a game for Diego Simeone to get back his boys on track and start thinking of battling for the league title against Barcelona and Real Madrid, right? So I'll give Atletico de Madrid a win over Elche. And the final game of tomorrow is going to be that of Levante against FC Barcelona. Without any doubt, it is not because I am putting on a Barcelona jersey. As you can see, I'm a Manchester City fan, I'm a Barcelona fan, I'm a Real Madrid fan, I'm a Chelsea fan. So it is not because I'm putting on a Barcelona jersey that will come and be like, no, Levante is going to win Barcelona, right? I'll give Barcelona a straight win against Levante. Guys, if you have watched the video right up to this point, again, I will appreciate if you can give me all your predictions for these 3 La Liga games that are going to be played tomorrow. Mallorca against Celta Vigo, Atletico de Madrid against Elche, Levante against FC Barcelona. While waiting for your own predictions, let me take a touch at the Bundesliga games. Bundesliga started yesterday where Bayern Munich played a game against Leipzig. Today Bayern Munich played a game against Leipzig. And now when we take a look at the Bundesliga games that are going to be played tomorrow, Saturday, discover that Bayer Leverkusen is going to be playing the first game of the day against Hoffenheim. And after the Bayer Leverkusen game, remember this Bayer Leverkusen game is going to be Erik ten Hag's first game as a Bayer Leverkusen head coach, first Bundesliga game as a Bayer Leverkusen head coach. So there is also the game of Frankfurt against Werder Bremen, which is the second Bundesliga game that is going to be played tomorrow. We have Freiburg against Augsburg, we have Heidenheim against Wolfsburg, we have Union Berlin against Stuttgart, we have St. Pauli against Borussia Dortmund. Now, what are my predictions for these 6 Bundesliga games that are going to be taking place tomorrow? I will take you guys back to the first game of the day, the game of Bayer Leverkusen against Hoffenheim. If I'm being honest, this game is going to be a difficult game for Bayer Leverkusen. Why? They lost their coach, Xabi Alonso, to Real Madrid, their best right back, Jeremy Frimpong, to Liverpool, their best player, Florian Wirtz, to Liverpool, their best centre back, Jonathan Tah, to Bayern Munich, even their striker, Victor Boniface, to AC Milan, and even Granit Xhaka, one of their best midfielders, to Sunderland. So it is going to be a tough game for Bayer Leverkusen because they are under construction. So it is a new chapter for them. They are still trying to develop a game because they have lost a lot already this summer. So I will still give Bayer Leverkusen a win over Hoffenheim just because of the fact that they are playing the game at home with a new coach, and there is that mentality where players will want to show the coach that they are capable of doing 1 or 2 things. So I'll give Bayer Leverkusen a win. And the game between Frankfurt and Werder Bremen, without any doubt, I'll give Frankfurt a win over Werder Bremen. There's a game of Freiburg against Augsburg. The game is going to be somehow balanced, so predicting this game is going to be difficult for me. There is a game of Heidenheim against Wolfsburg. This game is also going to be a difficult game. Predicting the game is also going to be difficult for me. There is a game of Union Berlin against Stuttgart. Without any doubt, I'll give Stuttgart a win, though this is going to be an away game for them, so I'll still give them a win over Union Berlin. St. Pauli against Borussia Dortmund. I will give Borussia Dortmund a win against St. Pauli without any doubt, because we saw Borussia Dortmund at the Club World Cup. They were performing extremely very well, and I believe that this game against St. Pauli tomorrow is still going to be a game where they are going to continue from where they ended at the Club World Cup. Remember, at the end of last season, Borussia Dortmund went for 7 games unbeaten, so I think they can still continue like that tomorrow. So guys, what are your predictions for this Bundesliga Saturday's fixtures? Now let's take a look at the Serie A games that are going to be played tomorrow. Serie A is set to start tomorrow, so the first Serie A game of this season 2025-2026 is going to be played tomorrow, and the first game of the day is going to be that of Genoa against Leeds, which is the first Serie A game of the season. After the game of Genoa against Leeds, we have the game of Sassuolo against the Italian champions Napoli. After that game, we have AC Milan against Cremonese. After Cremonese against AC Milan game, we have AS Roma against Bologna. So 4 Serie A games are going to be played tomorrow, Saturday. And if I am to predict this game, I'll go back to the first game, Genoa against Leeds. I will give Genoa a win over Leeds. Why? They are playing the game at home and they ended last season very good, and I believe they can continue with the same energy to this new season. The game of Sassuolo against Napoli, I will give Napoli a win, not just because they are the league champions, not just because they are the Italian champion, but because they are having a lot of quality players. Kevin De Bruyne is going to be playing this game, so I'll give Napoli a win over Sassuolo. The game of AC Milan against Cremonese, I believe Cremonese was just recently promoted back to Serie A, and AC Milan, there is no European competition for them next season, and they want to fight for every title this season. Luka Modric is going to make his debut in this game, so I'll give AC Milan a win. And the game of AS Roma against Bologna, it is going to be a difficult game for both clubs, but I will still end up giving AS Roma a win over Bologna. Guys, what are your own predictions for these games that I have these Serie A games? What are your own predictions for these Serie A games? And now there are 3 Ligue 1 games that are going to be played tomorrow. The game of Marseille against Paris FC, the game of Nice against Oz, and the game of Lyon against Metz, right? When we take a look at the first game of the day, which is that of Marseille against Paris FC, it is going to be a difficult game. Marseille lost their first league game of the season to Rennes, and Paris FC also lost their first league game of the season. So all of these 2 clubs are currently having 0-0 points, and they want to start the season from this game. So if I'm to predict this game, I will first of all give Marseille a win in this game because they are playing the game at home and all of their quality players are available for this game. They want to fight for the league title with PSG. Now there is the game of Nice against Oz. I will give Nice a win over Oz. There is the game of Lyon against Metz. Lyon won their last game, which was actually the first league game of the season, and I think they are still going to continue like that in this game. So guys, what are your predictions for these 3 League 1 games that are going to be played tomorrow? I am going to end the video with the Saudi Pro League Super Cup. Al Nassr of Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be playing against Al Ahly of Frankesi. And when you take a look at this Saudi Super Cup finals tomorrow, you discover that it is not going to be an easy one for Cristiano Ronaldo. At the same time, it is not going to be an easy one for Al Ahly. Sadio Mane is not going to play this game because he was sent off against Al Ittihad of Karim Benzema. So it is going to be a balanced game for both clubs. But if I am to predict this game, I'll give Al Ahly a win over Al Nassr of Cristiano Ronaldo. Guys, if you are watching the video right up to this point, I will appreciate if you can hit a thumb up to this video, you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and most importantly, you drop at least a comment down in the comment section. As you can see, I am just from starting this YouTube channel and I cannot do it without your support. So guys, support me with at least a comment down in the comment section. You share the video and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you guys after tomorrow's games.